Well, at the moment we're developing a network of full motion screens in the major UK cities. We're up to 7 cities now. We hope to get to 10 by the end of this year or early part of next year. And one of the frustrations for me right now is that because the screens can show full motion ads, creative agencies and clients are still using static images on those. The screens really come to life when they show kind of full motion audio and visual creative. So there'll be a huge education to the creative agencies in the coming months. It's the 5th year of our annual digital creative competition, which we host at the IMAX. So details and entry criteria will be coming out soon for that. But also linked to those screens, which we're selling now as a network, we're introducing a Wi-Fi network around each of them. We already have it at our Eat Street stream down at Westfield. We've just installed the technology and the software at our screen in Canary Wharf. And the next challenge for us is we have licenses signed in some of the regional cities as well. So the next step for us is to actually activate those Wi-Fi networks, network all the individual screens together, and in partnership with the likes of Weave and other companies, start to capture data about the audience in that specific environment. But that's the phase 2 of what we call the grid, which is our full motion network. As I said, to kind of capitalise on the strength of the locations and the fact they can show full motion ads. We really need to work more closely with the creative agencies to allow the client's message and the actual creative to kind of sing and dance and come to life on the screens. So that's been a couple of years worth of project for us already, and we're just about to kind of crystallise that and come out with some really new strong initiatives from a kind of a technology perspective in terms of the location of the screens as well.
Most exciting innovation. Well, I say with a hint of bias, probably the thing I've invested my career in. So at last year's Media 360, we were here to announce an investment in viewing insight and data from Sky, whereby we are dialing back the viewing behaviours of 500,000 homes every night, every time you click the remote, and we know who those homes are. And last year we were talking about retailers and others who are benefiting from that and continue to benefit. In about 5 minutes' time, one of my colleagues is taking that a step further and announcing a partnership with Dunnhumby, where we're combining not only what we know about what people watch, but what Dunnhumby know about what they buy, and properly tracking the path to purchase from viewing to buying, which I think will give advertisers, even FMCGs, unrivaled science in a world that has only previously existed in digital and direct marketing. So already we're finding FMCG clients coming to us and asking us for things to do that they've never been able to do, such as define a television audience on their terms, find more of that audience with more certainty, and then close the loop and properly create that positive feedback loop that has only really been available in other channels. So for me, I hope that's going to be the most exciting thing that hits certainly the TV industry and advertising industry over the next year or so.
I think what really excites me at the moment is in the smarter cities space. So we're all about the out-of-home environment, and the thing that really excites me is the idea of linking the consumer to the out-of-home space. And I think a really good example of that are the guys that we've got on our stand at this event, PaveGen. It's all about connected flooring, basically turning the kinetic energy from footsteps through their special connected flooring into energy, into electricity that can power lighting, could power 6 sheets, for example, could power basically the built-up smarter environment around them. So that stuff is completely sustainable. It's using energy from wasted footsteps, essentially, and I think that stuff really, really excites me professionally and personally.
Well, the most exciting innovation for us here in the UK is unquestionably our involvement with the Education Enterprise partnership that we're working on in South London, where we're creating a new global headquarters, working with the local sixth form college, creating a new free school and having a big impact on designing the curriculum, which is going to be very digitally oriented and focused to enable us to create skills and talent for the future. If you like, we're working with a generation born into a digital world, and that for me actually is groundbreaking.
Okay, so the world's changing. Television is a traditional model. Actually, television is really evolving into loads of other spaces. Video, as we know, is growing rapidly, and the trading model around video is a real opportunity now where currently there's slightly different size of the fence. But actually, when we find that brilliant space together, when television and video can be traded under one metric, that becomes really interesting. What becomes even more interesting is when you're able to use the data that the internet can provide, and we saw the Sky IQ presentation today, and that talked about how they can genuinely tell business objectives or business results based on television viewing. And if we could turn around to the industry and say, look, client X, we need to understand what this business objective is going to deliver through this viewing. Well, actually, it's about totally reinventing the trading model and creating something which is unique and bespoke to each individual client. That's really, really exciting.